ربنا اللي حميها، وتمشى تعشى وخد مركب واسهر على النيل. عمرك ما تحس هنا بغربة مع شعب أصيل، وأمانة مفيش أأمن منها لانصاص الليل. اتمشى تعشى وخد مركب واسهر على النيل. عمرك ما تحس هنا بغربة.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We resume our interview with Mr. Dr. Samir Riyad, economic expert. Doctor, we were just speaking about the steps that Egypt should take to increase exports.
Okay, as you know, we are increasing by quite a number of people per year, and accordingly, we have to create jobs and create industries to enable to absorb this number of people, to enable us on the other side to increase the income of persons and to improve the way of living for our people. You know, as you know, yesterday we were, seeing, our leader. He was visiting India, and India is 1.2 billion people.
Yes.
And I read that 530 million people are involved in the industry in India, which makes over 40% of the population, which is a very high number. That means that they have got very strong industry. And accordingly, I don't think that we have this kind of numbers here. That's why it is a strategy, it is a target. We should increase our factories and our industries to enable us to have a sort of satisfaction in the local market, and we have to decrease the importation and to increase the exportation. This is our aim. That's why we have to see what attracts the people to go into this. We have to study this very carefully. We have to have a strategy. We have to get the people, the businessmen, to get involved to increase their businesses.
Yes.
And the importation to have to be decreased, as I said, and to increase the exportation. That is one of the main issues which the government is targeting to do, and hopefully that they will succeed with the help of the people. The people has to get involved to enable us to do a better job.
Yes. So yesterday, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli have inaugurated the 7th annual MENA, or the Middle East and North Africa Investor Conference. As he said, that the current economic and investment strategies implemented by the state is high on the agenda of Egypt. What's your impression about how did you follow this conference?
It's very important. The government is trying to put strategies, and we have to, to get the details of these strategies and see how could be implemented, how could be put into action, and to enable us to do a job which is going to, at the end of the day, increase the income of the individual Egyptian and to improve the economic of Egypt. This is very important. It is, we have to go into more details. We have to get the institutes and the universities and the people which they can help to put a good strategy into very, very details to enable us to implement this kind of strategy.
Yes, the Premier also, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, have said that since December of the year 2022, the government of Egypt managed to cooperate with the banking sector in order to release goods and commodities that cost more than $14.5 billion.
This is very important too, but in the first place, this shouldn't happen, that they have to stop these goods in the customs, because it is imported already and it is being stored in the customs.
Yes.
And definitely it is a relief to enable us to not to let a shortage of any of the goods which can the market suffer because of the shortage of the goods, because definitely we are importing a lot of things, and we have to take this into consideration.
Yes.
And how to decrease it. This is the main issue now. How to industrialize our country, how to see that there is certain things can be done by importing some raw material if we don't have the raw material. If
Yes.
there is an added value on it, definitely we need these industries
Yes.
to enable us to have market satisfaction. And definitely this is very important, that we have to depend on ourselves in every sector.
Yes. So, Dr. Riyad, concerning the release of the goods or the commodities from the ports, it started in December, but it went on until January, the end of
Right,
January.
right.
Yes. But how do you see also there was priorities for releasing the goods and the commodities? It started with the food at the first hand, and then the commodities or the goods that that joins manufacturing some sort of food, and then
Some of these goods, some of the factory was depending on those goods, to enable these factories to run. This means if there is a shortage, that means this factory stops, the
Yes.
production stops.
Yes.
That's why it harms the economy. And definitely this kind of things, we are definitely mending mistakes by somehow, but somehow we have to take this into consideration to enable us not to be repeated. We have to industrialize our country.
Yes.
We have to increase more factories, more businesses, more, because we have got the assets, to do so.
Yes. So, Dr. Riyad, also Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli said that attracting foreign investment to Egypt is high on the agenda of the government.
Of course, attracted the foreign investment, attracting the Egyptian investment, which we need it as well, that the bank gets more involved in the industries and invest more money, to the investor, to enable us to get this money
Yes.
back, and to increase the economy's income of the individual. As I said, it's very important that we have to do a lot of industries. As I
Yes.
said, India has got 45% of their population is involved in industries. We need to have something like this, because we need more industries.
Yes, Dr. Riyad, you've just mentioned India, and of course President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have paid a historic visit to India this week. So, and the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have doubled the size of trade between Egypt and
Yes.
India. We'd like to shed light on this, please.
This is very important. India is a country which is democratic country, which is very important, and it doesn't belong to any of the big power, not east, not west. And we had a long history before, and we had during in the 60s we had very strong relationship economically and politically, and we were in the position to cooperate with India. And definitely India has got a lot of potential in a lot of sectors. That's why, our cooperation with India, our leader, he knows exactly the importance of this relationship. That's why he is paying a lot of visits there. And definitely this relationship, hopefully that will come back to the benefit of the both of these countries.
Yes. So concerning the coordination between Egypt and India and attracting investments, as of course usually the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi always mentions attracting the investment, and also in this conference the Premier mentioned that attracting investment to Egypt is high on the agenda of the state. So concerning this, India have already on an area of 350 fiddans in the new administrative capital is establishing here in Egypt, in the new administrative capital, a big complex of medical complex in the new administrative capital, full of hospitals, clinics, and yes.
Definitely. You see, we are in between three continents, and the Egyptian position is very important, and we are near the market. And definitely Egypt has got a lot of potential, and he has got a lot of agreements with the Western countries. That's why these companies in India will benefit from the agreements between us and the Western world. And definitely there is 25 million Indian, is employed outside of India. And that's why it is a good move, and they are very advanced in medical.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I thank you very much for your time, for your valuable information, Dr. Samir Riyad, economic expert. Thank you very much for joining us today.
it.
I really had the pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Cairo Local Time. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.